up, hippies? Davey here, one half of Toby and Davey, and guitarist and singer in Tennessee's Dead, a Grateful Dead tribute band. You guys have been asking for a little bit more of a thorough breakdown about like my settings on my amp and pedal settings to actually shape the Jerry-esque tone. And I say Jerry-esque tone because you fuckers got on my ass about that, so Jerry-esque, how about that? How about that? To me, it's a Jerry tone, but Jerry-esque. So I do have a new amp now. Well, new to me, not a new amp. I'm running a Mesa Nomad 55. It's a 3-channel combo amp, 2 12s in it, with the Mesa Black Magic speakers in it. It's pretty awesome. The reverb tank in it, however, was pretty well shot. It was pretty shitty. So I got rid of that, and I'm running a Sky Surfer from TC Electronic through the effects loop so it doesn't get hindered, and everything else is on my pedal board going right into the regular input. Now it sounds better than my other one. It sounds better than the last video, because that last one was just a shitty little Bougere that I have now under my desk. It stays under the desk now. It doesn't get turned on. I don't fuck with it anymore because I couldn't really play a show with it. It wasn't really up to snuff. So now this guy, much better. So I'm going to be playing through my Dion Savage, which was a guitar that was only made in 1982, I believe. You can go back and check my video that I did on it a couple years ago. But I love this guitar. It sounds great. It's got coil taps right there. And it's one of the first guitars that had that. So let's see how she sounds. So you see, that's decently accurate. Is it perfect? No, but we've been over this before. We don't want it to be perfect. And all you sticklers out there, it doesn't have to be the same. And if you're talking about having Jerry's gear and stuff, that's all well and good. Have Jerry's gear. Spend that money. I don't give a fuck. Like, if you want to have that sound that is exactly Jerry's, go for it. All the more power to you. I can't afford that shit, so I go with a Mesa, and I go with the cheap little pedals that I can get. I go with what I can afford to get the sound that I need out of it, because I am in a Grateful Dead tribute band. I do play for people, and they do like the sound. They tell me I sound like Jerry, so I don't go by what YouTube comments tell me. I go by what real, actual people in the real world tell me, because I find that a bit more factual than anything that, you guys that talk shit on other people's videos that don't make videos. You know what I mean? So, love you guys that are supportive. Love you guys. And to the people that nitpick, that's fine too. I love you guys too, but like, get off my nuts about it. So, we're going to get a little bit more in depth with how we set things up. And if you guys wanted to hear on the bridge pickup, you didn't hear a little deal or something. It's a lot to win, and even more to lose. You and me better spend some time just wondering what to choose. It goes to show that you don't ever know, so watch each card you're playing. Play it slow, wait till that deal come out. Don't you let that deal go down, oh no. There, it's great. I enjoy it very much. So now we're going to cut to another shot of me showing you exactly what to do on the amp, like on your amp. So we're going to get into that before we do the pedals. So again, it's very important because again, I'm not telling you that you're going to be able to play like Jerry to be able to get these sounds, because again, it comes out of your fingertips, comes out of your little jazz hands. You feel me? Your grubby little fingers. That's what it comes out of. It's about you. It's about you as a player. Now, again, you can take these things from musicians that you love. Like, I love Jerry. I love Trey. I fucking love Paul Simon. I love David Byrne. I love Frank Zappa. All of these things come out in my playing too. So it's not just Jerry, it's a lot of other things, but all these other things influence the bands that have come after. So it's fine. Just be a melting pot. It's okay. Be who you were meant to be. Improvisation is a big part of being in a jam band, and being part of the jam scene is jamming. So it's improvisation. So work on your improvisation skills. Learn everything you can and then forget it. Is probably the best turn of phrase that I can think of and that I've been told is learn everything and then forget it and then just play. So learn all your scales, learn whatever scales, Dorian, Lydian, Mixolydian, whatever you can learn. Just learn them all, and learn how they all cohabitate on the neck here, because, you know, only so many notes in this neck, and there are only so many ways to play them together, but it can seem infinite if you know what you're doing. Okay, guys. Mesa Nomad. The Mesa Nomad 55. So we're going to zoom in on our first channel here. So we're going to go ahead and highlight it. You have a switcher. And for me, I keep this third channel turned all the way down because my tuner isn't always on. My tuner does not give me a kill switch, so it does not mute my amp. So I've turned channel 3, which on the Mesa Nomads is the most distorted channel. So I don't play metal, so I don't need that. So what I do is I've turned that all the way down, and it is now my mute channel. So channel 2 is more distorted, but it's fine. It's more of a crunch. Then you've got channel 1. So channel 1 is my clean channel. So we've turned that on, and if you can see in here at our little knobbies here, I have my treble turned almost all the way up. I have my mids turned almost all the way up. I have my bass turned to about a 3, 4, a 3 or a 4. And up here you have your presence. I've got my presence turned quite high up there because I want you to be able to hear everything. Now, one thing you need to understand is that Jerry's tone is very unforgiving. It is a very unforgiving tone. You can hear everything, so you've got to work on your fucking playing, man. Seriously. And my master here, these Mesas are very loud amps. I've got 6L6s in the back here. I've got 2 of them, so it's loud as fuck. So I have to have this turned down really low for you guys to be able to hear it. I've got my gain turned up about halfway, just because I want it to break up a little bit. And then over here on my main output, you see how low it is? See how low that main output is? All right, so the Mesa Nomad 55, and you see on top here where I've got my pedal power hardwired into my Sky Surfer reverb, and I've got my reverb set. It's very minimal reverb because I don't want it to drown, but I do want it to be wet. So the amp itself. Okay, so as you can see, the pedal board. All right, so what we have here is we've got our tuner pedal, which is one of these Space Saver pedal train tuners. And what I've done is I've just kept it in its little styrofoam thing to actually give it the footprint of a pedal because I just needed a tuner. And then we've got our Joyo Dynacomp, which is my compressor. I've had it for years now and it has never failed me. So I've got my sustain turned almost all the way up and my level turned up pretty high and my attack turned up pretty high. Now that's just because that's the sound I like. I like it crisp. I like everything coming through sharp and clean, even when I'm playing rhythm. You've got an original Crybaby wah. I love it to death. It's going to give you those nice Jerry wah tones that you would hear in like playing in the band. And I throw it in plenty of places. Like anytime we do a minor jam, going to the wah pedal because it gives you something that you wouldn't necessarily think that Jerry would use, but he actually used the wah quite a bit. And then you've got your Qtron, you've got your quack quack. Okay, so now you see I've got it on low pass mode, which is where you want it, and you want your quack to be about halfway, you want your drive to be about halfway, and that's what's going to give you that great Jerry sound. And then over here we've got our green screamer. And your green screamer is your tube screamer, your overdrive, whatever you want to call it. You're going to need one of these. And for my BBE, they don't make these anymore, so good luck getting them. I know you can find them on Reverb probably. So I've got my level set about halfway. That's just for this because I was jamming pretty low. Usually I'll have it about there. That's where I'll have my level, my tone's up pretty high, and my gain is almost all the way down because I'm not trying to change my tone too much. Now I've upped the tone and the level of this to make it crunch and to break up, but I don't really want to lose the tone that I've got. And to lose really no tone, but to give me a boost, I've got a TC Electronic Spark that can give you an extra 20 dB. You'll never need it. I rarely ever need it higher than about there. That's usually what runs on that. And then up top here, we've got a Mooer Pure Octave. And it's okay, it tracks pretty well. I usually, if you can see that there, I keep my upper octave turned all the way down. I keep the dry signal all the way up, and I keep my sub level about halfway, if not a little bit more than halfway. So I can get that that sound maybe like feel like a stranger with the Qtron and the octave. Other than that, I'm pairing it with my BBE Green Screamer for things like Help on the Way Slipknot, and it's a good one for that. And then, you know, your jam buddy's best friend, your Ditto looper pedal. And then all of that. So I'm running guitar runs into tuner runs into compressor. So everything else is being compressed after this point. Okay? That's how you want to run it. You want to run your compressor right after your tuner. Your tuner is always first. Tuner gets the unimpeded signal from your guitar, and then that runs into your compressor, and then from compressor into wah pedal into Qtron into Screamer into Spark into Mooer into Ditto out. Okay? All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through and I'm going to show you what all of these sound like again. You guys want to do a little 11? How about a little 11? Show you what it sounds like with the Green Screamer. Green Screamer sounds like. We're going to move on to the Qtron. you guys the Spark, just to show you what that clean sounds like. I'll give you guys the old Crybaby. Another thing that Jerry would do with his wah pedal, like, I don't know if you guys remember this, but he would half crank it, and that's when he started doing his whole pinch harmonic thing, where he would pinch harmonic through a lot of his tunes. Didn't always sound the best, but I mean, hey, we let Bob on his slide, so, you know, maybe let Jerry slide on his pinch harmonics, but yeah, that was the thing he did, and you can just half crank your wah or mostly crank your wah up towards the open. I used to do it a lot on Loser. So if you go back and listen to like some older Losers from like the mid-70s, you'll probably hear that. Next, you'll have the octave, so you probably hear that most of the time with like Feel Like a Stranger, like I said, so. That thing out of it. Yeah, and that's about it, guys. I will be doing some tutorials here soon. I'll be doing probably, someone asked for a new Speedway. I could do like a ramble on Rose. I can do pretty well any of them. So if you have a suggestion, or if there's a particular song that you'd like me to teach you, throw it out there. I know most of them, so I'll rarely tell you no. I'll do a new Speedway, do a ramble on, and any others that you guys ask for. So let me know what you think of this video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Go listen to A Drink and a Joint, the podcast that Toby and I do, because it's silly and sometimes it's funny. So love you guys. Be safe out there.